Okay, I just heard on This Week in Science podcast that fat women have damaged eggs. I also decided to read a little bit on the internet, and I see there are several articles. This came from Adelaide, Australia, where they conducted the study on mice. And people want to negate the study, saying that it's just mice and it's not going to affect people. I think it affects all animals, cats, dogs, whatever gets fat. Okay? Whatever you can chemically induce to get fat. And humans have the fattest, highest fat ratio out of any animal. Well, okay, alright. You may want to compare us to whales. Or a lot of the fish in the sea that are mammals or whatever, mammals in the water. Land walkers. We'll just any land walker, whatever. Humans are one of the fattest, have one of the worst diets. At least those animals in the sea, the whales, have a better diet than humans, because they don't extract chemicals from plants and toss the rest out. That's the problem. That's why so many people are getting fat. And and also in turn, women may have damaged eggs, and it says it may be reversible, but yeah, what are the if there's a maybe, then there's also the chance that it's never going to happen. But on the other hand, males may have damaged sperm too. This obesity epidemic is terrible, and people still want to call it overeating, and it is, but because of chemical addiction. Obesity is an addiction disorder. It's an addiction problem to chemicals, just like sugar extracts or corn syrup swell up your fat cells. Nicotine extracts will swell up your let's say the kidneys, but it's the adrenal glands on top of the kidneys. Will swell those up because that's what it's drawing a lot from. That's what it's putting so much focus on, is your adrenal glands, just like coffee. What else? Smoking. Did I say nicotine? That was caffeine. Caffeine and nicotine are pretty similar. Smoking, that'll swell up your lungs because it's going to damage your lungs and inflame them. Okay, and you're inflaming your lungs with smoking. Let's see, like heroin. I was trying to think of heroin. What that tends to focus on. It makes you all sleepy and takes away your pain receptors. It's going to swell something, which leads to cancer. Which, swelling. The stages of cancer are swelling to tumor to cancer, death. A lot of these extracts. Adderall. That's once again, that's gonna affect your adrenal glands. It's gonna make those swell up. It's gonna make them cancerous. A lot of people seem to be getting cancer with their lymphatic fluid, their lymph systems, lymphoma. All right, and that's the second circulatory system. I don't want to call it secondary. It's very important. You don't put it as number 2 behind blood. It's pretty important. But it's just like I'm trying to prove a point that the extracts are going to target particular areas of the body, make them swell up, because and if they're addictive, they're going to lead to further swelling, to hardening, and then the lack of oxygen, because it's become so dense, leads to cancer, which leads to death. It's simple. The sugar extracts lead to death. People confuse carbohydrates with sugar all the time too. I just don't get it. I don't understand sugar extracts. What's so hard to understand? An apple is not a sugar extract, but if you run it through the factory and pull out all the sugar, throw away the pulp, then you got a sugar extract, and that's the problem. Apple juice concentrate. That's too much of an extract to be deemed legal. That's pushing it for me. And the manufacturers are getting away with extracting corn syrup at different levels too. They got HFCS 150, HFCS 60, because they can make it strong, just like you can make heroin or cocaine as strong as you like. It's a matter of having the power of diluting what you've extracted. It's so ridiculous, and this obesity problem is causing egg damage. It's causing Asperger's, which I think I have, because I had a fat mom and she's still fat. But she's still alive. She's in her 60s, so she's doing something good enough to allow her to continue I wouldn't say a fulfilling life, but a life. You're never healthy, and you're never healthy when you're overweight, and you don't make life very healthy for your offspring, for your relationships. I think obesity is a large part of the reason why people get divorced. Obesity tears your body up. It causes the metabolic syndrome. It makes your fertility horrible. It destroys relationships, because nobody likes fat people. I personally hate fat people. Okay, you meet me and you're fat, you're not going to get a warm response. But I'm not a nice guy anyway, so take it as is. It's causes all kinds of problems. I recommend reading about how fat women have damaged eggs, and it may be reversible. Don't get fat, and kids get fat and they don't know any better, and they think, they don't care, they'll outgrow it. It's so ingrained in our society, and it's been extremely strong ever since the farm subsidies of the 1950s, which led to the corn syrup movement, and then the major commercialization of it, that really was marked by Coca-Cola changing over from sugar cane to the high fructose corn syrup in about 1981, which made them a lot of money, made Warren Buffett a lot of money, made Warren Buffett a household name. This whole sugar thing is really gotten out of control, we're just these people are studying it and finding that there's problem after problem with these drugs, with these acceptable addictive drugs that people want to still call food. The sugar extract is a drug. People just don't recognize that because they don't want to give up their drug addiction. That's the first part of breaking a drug addiction, is admitting it, and then at that point, if you study AODA, society breaks down when it has to get off that addictive drug. It broke down when cocaine became illegal. It broke down, we can recall pretty recently, with ephedrine becoming illegal in the early 2000s, roughly. Society broke down, and then we get these shows, Breaking Bad, people being bad, people doing illegal things to get their ephedrine, whereas once before it was legal. Society broke down, but we're getting better. We had all these addicts dying, making national news, that famous baseball player dying from ephedra. Well, that has to, it's also okay. We look at nicotine. We've worked on trying to make that illegal. Sugar really has to be on the dockets. Okay, it has to be coming. We have to really fight to get sugar labeled as a drug. I'd love to see the change. Marijuana labeled as not a drug unless you extract the THC from it. And sugar extracts of all forms, even the concentrates, being labeled as a drug. Okay, it's only fair. It'll only help society. That's why we're getting increased medical bills and all that, is because of the sugar problem, and more kids are becoming addicted to the sugar, and that's just going to weigh even heavier on the medical system. It's an addiction problem that society has to break down further so they can get out of it. And it may be, you know, beyond my lifetime, the way people are going with their addictions. It's terrible. I have a hard time myself avoiding sugar extracts because it's put in 80% of the food in the grocery stores. It's really tough to deal with. There's foods that I'd like to enjoy more, like bread, without all that sugar. There's only one product called double fiber bread that has a ratio of 4 fiber to 2 sugar. And I love the taste. It's great. But it's only one product out of a whole wall full of bread. There's only one product that they have a decent... It may not even be that great. I don't even know what bread tastes like. I've read comments from foreigners saying that the bread is too sweet in America. I'd love to go to another country, but I'm just a homeless bum. I'll probably never see another country. I got to deal with what's in America, and things have to change from what I see.